Good morning. I'm Ann Broholm, CEO of Ahead LLC, based here in New Bedford. Our company is proud to host this morning's 2025 AIM State of Massachusetts Business Address. At Ahead, we specialize in custom decoration of apparel, headwear, and accessories, helping customers around the world look great and amplify their brands. Our dedicated team of 240 employees designs and manufactures custom-branded products for the golf, resort, and collegiate markets. Ahead is a proud member of Associated Industries of Massachusetts, and we fully support AIM's mission to create economic opportunities across the Commonwealth. Our team here exemplifies the best of Massachusetts manufacturing: hard work, exceptional skills, fearless innovation, consistent productivity, and unwavering commitment to quality. We look forward to insights on Massachusetts' outlook for 2025. Please join me in welcoming Brooke Thomson, President and CEO of Associated Industries of Massachusetts, for the State of Massachusetts Business Address. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, and thanks to Ahead for hosting us in this hardworking city whose ties to the sea have been an indelible part of the Massachusetts economy for centuries. It's exciting to think that those same ties are making New Bedford an indelible part of the state's economic future as well, this time as a center of the burgeoning offshore wind industry. Welcome to the 2025 State of Massachusetts Business Address. It's hard to believe that this is the fifth State of Mass Business Address to be delivered by an AIM president since COVID-19 prompted the state to close non-essential businesses on March 23, 2020. More than 21,000 of our fellow citizens died of COVID-19, and the emergency shutdown delivered a cataclysmic shock to the Massachusetts economy. But the crisis also brought forward a singularly courageous response from an army of essential workers who stepped forward and did what needed to be done to keep people safe and our economy open. Food manufacturers, grocery store workers, healthcare providers, first responders, truck drivers, vaccine researchers, and others inspired all of us with heroic efforts and sacrifices to bring us through a dark and uncertain time. It was the work of those brave people and organizations that allowed Massachusetts to survive and to write the story of an extraordinary recovery that brings us into 2025 with the following wind. 5 years on, AIM offers a heartfelt thank you to all who led us through the pandemic. I became Chief Executive Officer of Associated Industries of Massachusetts almost exactly a year ago in January 2024. It remains an honor to articulate the experiences and concerns of AIM's 3,400 companies from every industry and every corner of Massachusetts. It's been an incredible year, full of learning, progress, and accomplishment. I spent much of my first 12 months visiting AIM member companies, large and small, to understand how they operate, what challenges they face, and how an organization like AIM can help them succeed. Companies like Greylock Federal Credit Union in Pittsfield. Greylock and its 100,000 members are focused on widening the pathway to financial access and opportunity in Berkshire County, especially for new immigrants and residents from marginalized communities. Companies like Commonwealth Fusion Systems in Devens, which uses revolutionary, high-temperature superconducting magnets developed in collaboration with MIT to build smaller and lower-cost fusion systems. And companies like Ahead, which takes pride in its habit of shaking things up. The company brought a jolt of energy to golf headwear in 1995, and to this day offers leading clothing decoration techniques to support customer brands. Companies like these and thousands of other AIM members epitomize both the promise and the challenge facing our state's unique economy. Let me explain. The Massachusetts economy is a miracle of sorts, an almost perfect convergence of Yankee ingenuity, unparalleled higher education, advanced manufacturing, world-class medical facilities, vibrant startups, and global financial powerhouses. As a result, Massachusetts residents enjoy the second highest per capita personal income in the country. The state also ranks second in the country for GDP per capita, which is a measure of productivity. Our unemployment rate remains below the national average, and Wallet Hub ranked Massachusetts as the best state to live in 2024, noting its strong economy and potential for innovation. But success left unattended can sow the seeds of its own undoing. Empires and political dynasties have risen and fallen through history, brought down by the weight of their own expanse and power. The very ascendancy of the Massachusetts economy has created issues that, left unaddressed, threaten our prosperity now and in the future. The vibrant job market, for example, has created demand for housing that has pushed home prices near unattainable levels. The high cost of living has driven thousands of people of prime working age to less expensive regions of the country, leaving our labor pool depleted below pre-pandemic levels. Our transportation system creaks under the weight of people trying to get to and from the great jobs we have created. And competing states like North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee are aggressively picking off pieces of our flagship industries like life sciences and climate technology. Massachusetts, in short, has figured out how to create a dynamic, world-class economy that adapts to changing conditions at the vanguard of innovation. The challenge before us today is how to preserve our economy from falling victim to its own success. The good news is that we enter 2025 for the first time in 4 years, buoyed by a stable, post-pandemic national economy with modest growth and moderate inflation. Gone are the dire predictions of recession. The Federal Reserve Board has begun the process of ratcheting back interest rates. Massachusetts employers added 27,100 jobs last year, and the labor force participation rate is at its highest level since 2020. And federal projects promise to expand several key industry sectors. Massachusetts has been selected to establish the Northeast Microelectronics Coalition Hub, a regional initiative that will advance the microelectronics needs of the U.S. Department of Defense. The Commonwealth also won approval to host the Investor Catalyst Hub of the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, an agency within the National Institutes of Health. The other piece of good news is that Massachusetts made significant progress in 2024 on a call I made last year for a new, far-reaching approach to economic development that melds competitiveness for the business community with affordability for the residents who work in our companies and live in our communities. AIM worked closely with Governor Maura Healey and the legislature to reduce the short-term capital gains tax rate and to make the Commonwealth a leader in wage equity and transparency. Massachusetts lawmakers passed a multi-billion-dollar housing bond bill, a comprehensive energy siting bill, and an economic development measure that invests $3.9 billion to ensure that Massachusetts builds on its strengths in life sciences and clean technology for the next decade. How then do we enhance the strengths of the Massachusetts economy and prevent its weaknesses from doing long-term damage to the prosperity for our citizens? AIM and its 3,400 member companies take seriously our responsibility to participate in this important debate and to articulate solutions that benefit both employers and our fellow citizens of the Commonwealth. AIM is pleased to put forward proposals that address the key issues of business costs, housing, transportation, talent retention, energy, healthcare, and the need to support the industries in which the Commonwealth holds a competitive advantage. Across all the initiatives is a consistent theme. We need to make it easier for businesses and individuals to thrive in Massachusetts. Start with moderating one of the highest levels of business costs in the nation. Our friends at the Massachusetts Taxpayers Foundation report that Massachusetts ranks in the bottom 10 of all states in about 40% of competitiveness metrics. And among those poorly performing metrics, 2 themes are apparent: cost and location. From business taxes, energy costs, and childcare, to housing and commute times, Massachusetts is asking more from its residents than the vast majority of other states. A good first step is to reform, finally, an unemployment insurance system that ranks as the 7th most expensive in the country. The task is especially acute because the state now projects that the unemployment insurance system will be $300 million in the red by the end of 2028, meaning that taxes on employers to fund benefits will climb to Schedule G, the highest level by the end of the year. AIM is working closely with the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, and Secretary Lauren Jones is committed to engaging AIM and the business community along with all stakeholders moving forward. AIM also supports public policy that encourages business investment and expansion throughout the Commonwealth. We support further reduction of the short-term capital gains tax to 5% to stimulate business investment. And let's allow deductions for business interest so that companies will not be penalized for borrowing and investing in growth. We must also take measurable steps to address the shortage of skilled labor that poses a long-term threat to the entire economic enterprise in Massachusetts. AIM supports expanding the capacity of our oversubscribed vocational high schools, and most importantly, ensuring continued accountability and transparency in the wake of November's vote to remove the MCAS graduation requirement. Part and parcel of solving the labor issue is to ensure that the workers who fuel our companies can afford to live in Massachusetts, to buy a house, to raise a family, secure daycare, and pay health insurance premiums. Failure to do so risks exacerbating the exodus of workers to lower-cost states in the Midwest and South. That's why AIM pledges to support implementation of the historic $4 billion Affordable Homes Act and to ensure that the law lives up to its potential to moderate the cost of housing in Massachusetts. The Commonwealth has a housing supply problem, and the only solution is to build our way out and provide thousands of new homes for our workers. Transportation is another front-of-mind issue for employers. I served last year on Governor Healy's Transportation Funding Task Force, looking at funding strategies to ensure that our roads, bridges, and overall transportation infrastructure can support the growing demands of our economy. There are no easy solutions to the transportation crisis that involves financing, affordability, and regional equity. But you should know that I support looking at existing sources of money before any solution that involves increasing taxes or fees. AIM supports a renewed policy emphasis on the all-important manufacturing sector in Massachusetts. Some 6,000 manufacturers throughout the Commonwealth generate $56 billion in economic output each year, 10% of the state total. Some 240,000 people make their living creating machinery, medicines, electronic equipment, and instruments that bring in revenue from global markets. But capital-intensive manufacturing companies are particularly vulnerable to high business costs and inefficient regulation. They are also popular targets for low-cost states seeking good-paying jobs. Let's work to ease the cost burden on a sector that accounts for 60% of all research and development in the United States. AIM is also committed to ensuring that Massachusetts adopts enlightened public policy in the developing areas of artificial intelligence and data privacy. We support policies that encourage the adoption of useful technologies while protecting the interests of both companies and their customers. We recognize the importance of data privacy and support a consistent, thoughtful, and comprehensive approach for safeguarding consumers' privacy, expanding consumers' rights, and protecting personal information. At the same time, we believe that this approach must be balanced with employer feasibility, compliance costs, and avoiding unintended consequences that negatively impact the state's economic competitiveness and our world-class innovation ecosystem. Smart investments need to be paired with smart regulations in order to make Massachusetts a leader for the next digital revolution. Finally, AIM and its AIM HR Solutions business unit will continue to work with member companies to ensure efficient implementation of the state's new Francis Perkins Workplace Equity Act. AIM believes these important policy changes strike the right balance by promoting open and honest communication about wages while not overburdening our employers, all of which makes Massachusetts more competitive. Amid these policy priorities, we must recommit ourselves to an inclusive vision of economic growth in which every business in the Commonwealth has access to the resources it needs to compete and share in the economic prosperity of the state. Behind all of AIM's activities is the belief that the creation of a job and a person's ability to do it weaves together every important aspect of social and economic stability. The desire for a better life, the ability to support a family, the confidence to start a business, and the need to support efficient government management of services such as education, healthcare, and public safety. We believe that business must be a positive force for change in creating a better, more prosperous world. The role of business is more than bottom lines. The role of business is to increase value for our society and be a force for positive change. Our ultimate job is to create an economy that allows people to thrive today and tomorrow for a brighter future for all. This mission engenders a sense of common purpose that binds us together as a community through good times and bad, through prosperity and uncertainty, through national triumphs and national tragedies. AIM represents Massachusetts employers of every possible description: global manufacturing companies, mom-and-pop grocery stores, cutting-edge research and technology startups, and sophisticated service companies. The association remains a uniquely powerful voice to remind all of us it is the private sector that is the engine of economic opportunity. Businesses flourish and can provide good jobs when government acts as a productive partner. We look forward to working with our many partners during 2025 to make that vision a reality. Remember, government is not some distant and abstract entity, but rather, in the words of Theodore Roosevelt, the government is us. We are the government, you and I. So let's you and I work together to make things better. Thank you.